Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stared at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk, but I'm cold.
Hey Internet, Highway 47 here, and I'm Dracofunk, and with me is Vomit.
Hey.
So, I don't know if you've been following along, Vomit, but this is my reusable space program, and we are out of fuel. So, we're on the surface of the moon right now, and Marnie and Tamji are mining ore to turn into fuel. The whole space program kind of rests on them, mining fuel to get back up to the space station in orbit of the moon. And
rest in peace space mission, I guess. Are you aware that your astronauts exploded?
that wasn't supposed to happen.
Cool. So now what?
We need to launch another mining ship. So
what a cut. Oh.
So these guys,
we were desperately low on fuel, but
well,
we exploded.
Yeah. It's spinning. So when I can eject the boosters and then the side things.
Yeah.
I only lost one fin.
I hope it wasn't the vital one.
So this mining craft is really heavy, and I'm trying to launch as efficient as possible.
Okay.
And everything is supposed to be reusable, so everything either stays in orbit or can be recovered.
Right.
So like all the boosters had parachutes, all the big side rockets had parachutes, even the main booster has parachutes and can be landed. I'm not showing that part on screen unless it makes it into orbit, then I'll land it. Here in the future, I have about 6 or 7 boosters in orbit. I'm going to have a montage of landing all of them. But right now,
boosters montage.
Yeah,
If it's got a sweet soundtrack, I'm digging it.
Oh yeah. I'll totally I'll find some free royalty-free music. But as you can see, I managed to get that barely into orbit, and I'm just going to go and send it directly to the moon. I'm doing this. I've sped up my footage 4 times just because. Oh, I'm also named this one the Jolly Roger. I've decided I'm naming all my mining ships after pirate ships from movies or TV shows.
So what was the one that exploded?
Actually, also from books, because it was called the Sweet Molly.
Oh, okay.
From a book I read when I was in 5th grade. I don't remember the name of the book.
I'm going to name the book that This Pirate Ship Explodes so that we can keep going.
Yeah, I, until this point, had not lost any Kerbals.
Well,
it
happens, man. Sometimes your space program explodes.
I haven't had anything explode. This is episode 18. I may have had things explode, but nobody died in it.
Well,
I have had accidents. Yeah, I guess I need to have a funeral for them.
Yeah.
Next episode,
Next episode, the funeral.
The funeral. Marnie and Tamji. They will be remembered.
If for nothing else, for how explodable they were.
Oh. So I'm like really behind on everything I want to do.
Yeah. Exploding does that to a man.
Well, what happened was there was an accident. Before this.
Okay.
I had a spaceship. They were docking and somehow the crew accidentally hit like full thrust and rammed into Bill's spaceship and broke it in half.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it was I got frustrated after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't go back and quick save. So now everybody who's been watching it already knows this, but I couldn't go back and quick save. And so I shut it down. I'm like, okay, I'll just edit this to the episode. And I opened up the video file and it was corrupted.
Oh.
So not only did I have my first irreparable accident, but I lost the footage to it.
Oh. Space is a cruel mistress.
So that's why I kind of took a break. Because they're like, well, how am I going to fix this? Especially losing the footage. And it just took me a while to get back to it. But hey, I'm landing on the moon right now.
Yeah. You ready to mine that totally not explodium?
Well, it kind of needs to be explodium because it needs to be turned into rocket fuel. And if rocket fuel doesn't explode, it doesn't work well.
Okay. Well, if you explode on the surface, it doesn't work well.
So I'm still not
Man,
100%.
4x speed makes those landings harrowing.
I'm still not exactly sure why it exploded. So, Megson and Werebro, good luck.
Why is your mining craft drifting?
I've landed on a little bit of a slope, and it just wants to slide down.
You figure the drill into the surface would do something about that, but Kerbin.
You know, I'm sliding again.
Can we insert some sweet Eurobeat as it's sliding down the hill?
Do you have any royalty-free Eurobeat?
I'm sure I could find some, but it's not really important to add it. It's just funny to joke about it.
No, send me some, and maybe I'll insert it like right here. Because I'm sliding, and at this point, I'm sliding so fast I can't stop the sliding, and that means I can't time excel, and that means so remember how like in Kerbal Space Program the terrain had no physics?
Yeah. At some point, the terrain got physics?
At some point, some of the terrain got physics.
Well,
So
that's unfortunate for your explodium.
yeah, I'm going almost half a meter per second down the hill. I accidentally turned on the lights. I can't stop the sliding. I'm also... And mining with this craft takes a lot of electricity, so it's like mine ore, and then try to convert, and then it runs out of ore, and then I have to stop it. And I'm also sliding down the hill.
Man, it's a bad day to be in space.
I mean...
If this is the better of the two missions, and your accidental rover here...
So what was supposed to happen was the I launched a big mission to get a whole bunch of stuff to Minmus and set up a station there. And that mission has gotten delayed. And I finally started getting everything back, but I don't have enough fuel to get all the ships to Minmus. So I'm mining it on the moon. So, speaking of the moon, see that rock there?
Yeah.
Remember they used to not have physics?
Oh no. Oh no.
They now have physics.
That.
It slowed me down, but did not stop me. See, I landed kind of on the side of that crater.
Yeah.
But now I'm.
That's a good
This
name.
is how behind. Yeah, I thought I was going to be in. I thought this was going to be in episode 17.
Oh.
That's how behind I am. Even my quick saves are behind.
Oh no. What episode are we even on?
This is episode 18. So now I just have to play the mine, don't run out of electricity. Now I fill everything up, start converting, time Excel until I run out of electricity. Shut the converter down. No, shut the converter down. I need to shut the converter
Shut
down.
the converter down.
Okay, there we go. And I just have to fill this up. I'm going to have to do this like 3 times, I think.
Does
I didn't.
program have like computers?
There's a couple. Why?
Just thinking about how maybe a computer could do this better. Like you could go like get a drink and the computer mines.
Yeah. Well, now I've got it. If you can set your time warp right, you can get it to the point where it just keeps mining and converting until you run out of sunlight. So like I've almost got my liquid fuel filled, and I run out of sunlight, and then I run out of electricity.
Oh no.
So this is actually the mining ship, the second version of the mining ship.
Okay.
The first one I made was smaller, and by the time I got back up to orbit, I didn't have nearly enough fuel to make it worthwhile. So I built this ship because it has 4 of those big tanks and then 2 small only liquid fuel tanks, and then all the stuff on the top is enough for it to land on the moon. So this is a lot more efficient, except I need to it needs better power generation.
Also, I think one of them might be a little exploded.
Well, I still don't know why that one exploded. Something caused it to overheat and explode.
Did any of your scientists look into that?
We no, because we don't have enough fuel. See, and to be fair, at this moment, I'm not doing any differently than I did the last time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Except this time it's not exploding.
I'm actually laughing at how quickly 2 more Kerbal just hopped right in. Like, it's probably fine the second time around.
It's probably fine. So I'm not going to fill up on oxidizer right now because I have a lot of craft with nuclear engines that don't take oxidizer. So I usually have a surplus, and I made a mistake here. I meant to send this up with a full tank of ore, and I forgot.
Oh no.
So, I mean, it's not a big problem. It's just
It's another trip.
I'm gonna have to make another trip anyway. But I wanted to have extra ore, and now I'm not going to. So since I basically landed straight from Kerbin, I'm gonna have to make a nice big plane change to get it to rendezvous with the station. So
Okay.
I have a space station in orbit of the moon. I named it Columbia. So I'm naming all my space stations after space shuttles.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
the space station in orbit of Kerbin is named Enterprise,
As you do.
since it was the first space shuttle built. And then the second space shuttle was Columbia, so the one in orbit of the moon, Columbia Station. And then the third space shuttle was the Challenger, and that is the name of the space station in orbit of Minmus.
Okay. None of them, or at least that one didn't explode. That would be in poor taste.
I mean, Columbia and Challenger did for the two that were lost. But, it's kind of in memory of them.
It's fair. If they don't explode, it's not in poor taste. I'm just saying I'm glad that the mining ship that exploded wasn't named after them.
Yeah, it was named after that pirate ship from that book. I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, we
Hey,
have no attachment to that.
post a message in the comments if you know the book that had a pirate ship named the Sweet Molly.
Your wife probably is going to comment.
So we talked over the whole thing. I have now rendezvoused with the space station. In the next episode, I promise that I will have remembered to turn up my saturation so you can see what I'm doing instead of just watching me dock in the dark.
Oh man, I'm a big fan of docking in the dark.
I
Seems
I
more intimate that way.
I always dock in the dark. And sometimes I dock in the light.
Okay.
So I basically just watching the nav ball to get this set up and a little sideways, but there.
Self into place. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Columbia Station, and I'm on the back end. There is currently, I think there's only one other ship docked. No, there's two. There's the Ares, which is like the space shuttle. It's kind of like it's my workhorse for my space program, and then Jebediah that's Jebediah's ship right there. I
Just
have
called
named.
Jebediah ship.
No, it's actually the Liberator because it looks like the Liberator ship from Blake 7. So I'm just basically refueling everybody, and eventually I need to get the fuel and fill up those two orange tanks around the station, and I have a big tanker that will fly. I think it's docked at Enterprise Station right now, and I will dock it here and fill it up, and it can take a big load of fuel to Enterprise Station. And I'm also going to send two other ships that can bring a big load of fuel back and just get as much fuel as I can to Enterprise Station. That has two of the big orange tanks and my goal is to get those filled. And once that happens, everybody will be refueled. I will finish the space station in orbit of Minmus that has its own mining ship that is already there. It's just waiting to offload its fuel into the big tanks that I haven't yet got there because they have ran out of fuel.
Promising.
Yeah. But everything will, in the next episode, I'm going to send everything out there. But anyway, that's where we have been today. I'm just going to keep transferring fuel, and thanks for joining me, Vomit, and we'll see everybody next time.
See you, ladies. Good night, everybody.
Good night.